Hi YouTube, it's Faster here. Now today I'm going to be teaching you how to do one of those cool little black letter image quotes that you see on Tumblr that are popular with users like ReminiscingOurMoments or HpLyrikz. Now if you've tried doing these yourself before and they just didn't seem to look right or look as cool as theirs did, that's because there's a couple just little details that you have to add in Photoshop or GIMP or whatever your image editing program is, and I'm going to tell you what those are. It's important that you do these even though they're quick because it makes the difference between one that looks cool and one that doesn't, and you really need to add those in to be able to get one of those type of black letter quotes images that is going to get reblogged. Now the first thing you want to do is find your quote. You want to use something catchy, clever, funny. Love quotes works good. Teen quotes, just do a search in Google for something like that, like funny quotes, love quotes, teen love quotes, or you can go on Twitter and follow a quotes Twitter or something of that nature, or you can use rap lyrics or movie quotes or whatever you'd like. Those are a couple ways that you can find those. You want to use a quote that's pretty short so that you can use large letters so that when it appears in people's dashboards they will be able to read the whole quote and it will work well. Once you've chosen your quote, you want to copy it and paste it into Photoshop or whatever, and then find an image that is something that's going to kind of relate to the quote. Do a search on DeviantArt is probably one of the best places, or Google search, and just try to find an image that kind of relates to it, that is kind of a thoughtful, thought-provoking looking image, or even just stock one, holding hands with a sunset, or standing, at a beach or whatever. Those are the type of ones that work well. Now, once you get your image, your photo, you want to add what's called a vignette. Now, that's kind of like the little darkness around the edges that kind of fades in. And you do that by just creating a new layer, going to filling black, then using the eraser tool, a large blurry eraser, and just kind of erasing, leaving the edges dark and erasing kind of the middle, so then you'll have that kind of vignette effect. Now, when you add your quote, you want to use block letter text, and you want to make it as large as possible without covering up too much of the image. You'll kind of get the feel for it. Look at some of mine or some of ReminiscingOurMoments or HpLyrikz for a good example. Now then you want to take and add a filter to that text that you just added that quote, and add a drop shadow to it. There's different types of drop shadows. There's ones that are thicker, ones that are kind of more blurred out, and it just depends on what you're going for. HpLyrikz kind of uses a larger blurry one that's got the spread turned on higher. If you use Photoshop, those are the types of options you can have. I like one that's a little darker, a little thicker, but doesn't have much of a spread, so it hangs much nearer the letters. Now, once you've done those things, you will just want to you can edit the text further to emphasize certain words, like if there's the word love in it or something like that, you select that and just change the color of that word to like a reddish, not a dark red, maybe kind of like an off reddish, peachish, pinkish type of thing, or whatever word that's kind of funny or you want to highlight. You can also select that word and then change the font size of it to be larger. Now, one thing you want to do to make it look just like theirs does, look really professional, is something called tracking and kerning. Now, if you're not real familiar with Photoshop or editing programs, these might be new words to you, but all they mean is basically how much distance there is between the letters, or how much distance there is between, the sentences. You want to edit it, take that down so that they are closer together, and the letters about a medium distance. All those are easy to find in your text toolbox. If you're using Photoshop Elements, you'll have less options. You can only adjust how close they are and not how close the sentences are, and not how much spacing is between the letters. But that doesn't really matter. I usually don't change too much with the spacing anyways. So that's about it. I will do a more advanced tutorial. Oh, also, there's certain fonts that you're going to want to use. There's a font that they all use, and I use a couple different ones, but I will include links in the down bar to where you can find those. That really makes a difference. You don't want to just use a regular impact font. Even though you might think it looks the same, it really doesn't, and it really makes the difference. I'm going to be doing a screen capture, more advanced tutorial coming up shortly, but I'm gonna have to use a computer that has a good screen capture program on it. So if you have any questions, please get at me on Twitter at @SpecialFester. Thanks, guys.